Hello, my Jellyfighters. My name is Jim, and this is your Daily Brogue for the 28th of January, 2026. Yes, very good. All right, so I hope so. I haven't changed these. There's the exit. So I've been talking about the reasons why I ended up on Patreon and why I started putting stuff up, right? So basically, I had a project. I thought maybe Patreon would be a good place for it. And then after I started doing stuff, I decided no, that was not so great. I thought it had all the disadvantages that Substack had, but none of the advantages. So I said, okay, that means I'll just stick with Substack, which is where I was originally going to do it. I was originally going to put up this webcomic, 1 page a week for however long it takes me to get done, and then maybe a news story, especially if there are people reading it. So I did that. So I've got 35 pages of that story done, and I have put that all up on online. That's available online, and on the 24th, if you look at the 24th, there's a link to what at that time would have been the most recent episode or the most recent issue. So on Patreon, I decided, okay, I'll just put D&D stuff on. So I'm doing this D&D stuff because I kind of had the idea a long time ago, and I decided somewhere to put it all together. And so I was going up to D&D. So um, this is a recent drawing that I just sort of can if I expand this up, does that get larger or not? No, it doesn't. Okay. So this is a recent drawing for um, that sort of redraws something that I drew in the past and I couldn't find, um, which is what I'm calling a surf orc on top of a dolphin. So it's kind of dolphin rider. So this is part of the surf orc mythology that I'm creating for the D&D game. And this is one of the things that I'm putting up online at that um, Patreon. So my goal is to finish writing this sort of supplement, which um, sort of breaks up these surf orcs, talks about their culture and stuff like that, but breaks it up into multiple different islands with different things going on. So you can have different adventures in different places and maybe figure out something you wanted to do with the surfworks. Um, Maybe outline the bones of a campaign and give myself time to search through old notes because I did have at one point some notes on the surfworks that included um, one fairly detailed adventure on one of these things. So I want to try not to reproduce all that work. I might have, I'm sure I'd want to redo a lot of that work, but I don't want to reproduce all that work if I don't have to, right? So I will be looking for that stuff in the future. But right now, I'm just working on getting the supplement done and talking about some of the important islands and some islands that you might be likely to find, and stuff like that. And each island having, its own curious difference between to the other ones. And then I also actually made a random island generator, which does not have the curious differences for the other ones. Just if you wanted to look at other islands, then you could. Okay, so um, today I'm just going to try to go through a bunch of these drawings that I've made, like this one. And here's another one. So this is a shadow shark. I've got another idea for a more concrete drawing, but this drawing would go with the description of the shadow shark and its abilities and stuff like that, um, which is going to show up on one of the islands um, as a major nasty, or as part of a problem with a major nasty. And obviously, if there's anything you don't want, it's a shadow shark, right? A shark with supernatural abilities, um, like something called a shadow shark you'd expect would have. So um, I'll be putting that sort of stuff together in the supplement or whatever it is I'm going to call it. Um, I think this looks like there's a good chance of there we go. This is a regular thing, not a weird thing. Okay, so crap. So in these situations, we will try to get teleportation. Okay. Um, yeah, that was a bad jellies in a room with jellies in a room, confusion trap, deep water. This is very bad. This is very bad. Um, I have a dude? I don't think I had a dude. So who's dying in combat? Very nice. So, like I said, I have these plans, and I'd like to work on them, and I put them up on Patreon. So I don't think they're. I mean, this is nothing earth-shattering, right? This is dungeony, dragony things, but yeah. I mean, I guess that was the point of the story. So, I mean, I've got some other supplements planned out, and at least one of those pictures. Hopefully, I'll get to Death 7, so you get to see all the pictures. Um, so we got some other pictures, right? So, like after the Shadow Shark, I've got, this is the Cuttlefish God. I like him. Um, I guess we could make him a underwater cuttlefish dude, but I mean, he's wearing clothes, so he shouldn't be that. But I mean, I love the patterns and stuff like that on things like this. So this is the cuttlefish god, which who likes to cause trouble. You know, god of poison and deception and things like that. Okay, lost the monkey, which is perfectly fine. Strength, detect magic, and life. Good. All right, and a good place for life because this looks like a vault over here. And just in time because it's step 4. Okay, this is a fire thing. So unfortunately, I used a fire potion of incineration already. And so yeah, I'll be trying to put together something like a supplement. Actually, that's a bit of a lie. I'm going to try to put together a couple of things like supplements. There's an incineration and a levitation. And what is that? And I'll just keep on going as much as I can until I run out of ideas, which at this point does not seem to be the problem. So this looks like it's a staff room, and so it was I'd say it was useless, but it's not so much useless because I hadn't looked at any of these guys without that detect magic. Um, and since I can, so I'll be coming back this way anyway. No, I won't because that's where the exit is. How did it decide to go that way? 3. It's tunneling. Do I have? No. Okay, tunneling 3 and firebolt 2. I think I would stick with the firebolt. Might be a problem, but probably not. Okay, we're going to guess G is enchanting and start looking at some of these other guys. But before that, we should switch to this and look at the next dude on the list, and that is, ooh, this is a very moody one. I want to put this on the interior cover, the PDF cover, and then if I make a um, physical one, I do this as a interior cover. I do an out exterior cover as well. So this is a surf work crawling along coral reef in the middle of the night. I like it. It's very very moody. And so this sort of sets the tone, I hope. All right, so identify M. Are we coming back that way? And to me, that is a particular. I'm thinking of that particular drawing. I'm thinking of a particular adventure on a particular island. And any time that you've got those surf orcs sneaking around being sneaky orkies, um, they could do something like that on a coral reef in the South Pacific. Well, not so much in the South Pacific, but wherever it is. Okay, that's why enchanting. I will enchant that firebolt. My dude, he burned to death. But I am not equipped for vampire bats. All right. So I don't know. I don't have any vampires. Should be some undead something in the area, I think. No, nothing there. I will leave those guys alone. That armor, that's no good, but that's fine. Live with it. Bye. Yeah, so I can't get the one I want. another one. To use that life. It's a pretty rotten spot to have to use it, but what's this? Hallucination. Nothing good in there. So just steal and run. I think no. I think it's likely that I'm going to want to use one of those. Okay. Is that yet another interruption? No, this one also included dinner. So I think that's it for this one. Yeah. Okay, so that means this might be the step 7. This should be the last one of the sent 6 to this email address. And this is for another deal. This is for the big book of different game or different islands that aren't related to the Surfworks. But there's one where they've got these islands, they've got these places in the world where crabs will just, when it's time to breed, just crawl over the island and mate and tear everything apart and then disappear. Now that's part of this, the giant crab men doing that. Very fun one. I think that's the last one, right? Yeah, and then that goes back to the last thing that I sent, which was the Santa Bot. So now I can die and be happy, or at least die on Brogue and be happy. Okay, what do I have? I think I was saying it's probably about time to use test, but wear one of those. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wear one of those to not get real curse good. So use a scale mail. Okay, that's adequate. Actually, we're at 7, so may as well check here. Since it looks like Okay, dead end. Oh, that's the way out. So this is good. If I am running and screaming on my way back, then this would be good. I've seen identify, right? Yes. I do not have identify. No. Because I need an identify for that. +3 invisibility charm. Good deal. This is a bad deal. Screw it. What did I find so far? Shattering the discord, protect armor, teleportation. Charging, remove curse. Oh, perfect. And J, sanctuary. And sure, wait a second. To E, apply E to E. See, so that's too much reliance on the Okay, +2 dagger multiplicity. That is good. Okay, so yeah. And so that's sort of stuff I'll be putting on that Patreon eventually. Let's zero scale it. Bad. We need to identify on firewalls. Already got protected leather. We don't need protected cursed leather. So I know the kind. Thing I need to do. Oh, okay. That's about it. Okay, good. So the scale mail, maybe I would have survived -2 leather armor. That means armor of 2. Okay, well that's about it. I don't know if you really want to find out where to find the Patreon. Just tell me and I'll do it. But otherwise, hey, um, maybe I'll just post these here. Nah, I won't post these there. But if you want to support me on Patreon, that's fine. Just tell me and I'll send you the link. I don't think I need to put it up here. All right. Thanks. Bye now.